All right, talking to the latest New York Jet, Ashtyn Davis. First off, have you ever been in New York City?
Once when I can't even remember. I was a little kid and we went to a couple Yankees games before they got rid of the old stadium. But other than that, not in my adult life.
Wow, what do you remember about being a kid walking through that magical stadium?
Everything was just big. Everything was so big and crowded. In the old Yankee Stadium. That's about all I remember. But I just remember everything was so huge and I was just in awe.
Wow, yeah. Speaking of big, I mean, they don't call it the Big Apple for no reason.
Right.
We got to see your reaction when you got the call. Take us through your mind as that phone call came through.
My hands just started shaking. That's the biggest thing I remember. My heart started pounding, and I was just really curious to see who was going to be on the other line. So it was, I mean, it was amazing. It was such a good feeling to see everyone, everyone's face light up, and yeah, it just felt really good.
We've all seen online, the letter that you wrote when you were a kid and wanting to play
Yeah.
multiple sports professionally. When did it become a reality for you? What was it when you wrote that letter, or was it in the last year or two when you thought, yeah, I might actually be a pro?
So that was always the goal. Even back in the day, I just always had that in the back of my head, and regardless of the circumstances, that's kind of, that was always where I was going to get to one way or another. And that's kind of, what led to the walk on thing and all that stuff. So that was always the goal, but I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get the opportunity, which fortunately the cards kind of fell in my favor.
I'm not sure if you know this, but I was also a walk-on as well, who
Okay.
eventually would earn a scholarship like yourself. But I don't know if listeners really understand what that life is like. Can you take us into what it's like to have the courage to walk on, and then what it's like to compete when you're not a scholarship student
Yeah.
athlete?
Well, as a walk on, I'm sure you shared some of these experiences. Like, I didn't even feel like I was part of the team at first. There were certain privileges that were only afforded to scholarship athletes, and like meals and things like that. So it was weird. I even after earning a scholarship until like 7 games into the season, when I got my first start, that's when I finally felt like I was part of the team, and that was 3 years into playing. So uh, it's yeah, it's so much different, and it's hard to kind of persevere sometimes. But like I said, I always bet on myself, and I always had the confidence that if I got an opportunity, I would do my best to make the most of it.
When did you say, football is going to be my thing? Because you are a multiple All-American in track, but it seems as though at some point everything started to click for you as a safety.
Yeah, so I initially played corner, got moved to safety, and it just was a really natural fit. But football was always the goal. UCSB was one of the schools that reached out after my senior year track meet, for the opportunity to walk on, and I actually, I crossed them off my list first because they didn't have a football program. So I knew in the back of my head that football was always something I wanted to pursue, and I needed, just an opportunity.
We've documented your trajectory to a certain degree. You got a lot of layers to you, but one of them is in overcoming a lot of adversity in your life. Ashley Adamson did a beautiful feature on you and your family. Have you
Absolutely.
had time to think about that during, sheltering in place of where you came from and what you've competed against?
Not yet. So I got asked that I've been asked that question a few times, and I haven't had any time to reflect really. Since hearing my name called, it still doesn't feel real. Watching the draft didn't feel real. Seeing all these people I trained with getting their names called and smiling on TV and stuff, like it just didn't seem real. So maybe when I lay my head on that pillow tonight, but for now I'm just kind of, you know, just enjoying it.
What do you think your parents and your family are thinking?
I have no idea because my head's going crazy, and they were pretty emotional, and so I have no idea what's going on with them.
So what happened when you got the phone call? What did members of the New York Jets say to you?
Uh, it's all a blur, but they basically put me on like a conference call with multiple people, and they said, we're looking for these attributes in a player. Did we pick the right guy? And I said, it sounds like you're on the phone with the right guy. And that's all I really remember. They passed the phone around to different people, and they introduced themselves, and I said hello. But yeah, that's I don't remember too many details.
Did you think about like what you would do when you would get the phone call? Like maybe did you practice in the bathroom at all?
No, I saw everyone, everyone was getting teared up and all, I didn't know how I was going to react. And my heart started racing, my hands, started shaking, and I didn't expect any of that.
And now you get to go to a city that has a guy who you played against in Sam Darnold as the quarterback. Have you had any
Yeah.
relationship or connection with Sam?
No, not yet. That was that was the same season I first was going to end up starting, but I hadn't started that game. I think I played 2 plays that game. So no reputation with him yet, but I look forward to meeting everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he can't wait to look across the line of scrimmage and see you. Maybe you can get a pick against
I
Sam
hope
Darnold,
so.
talk some trash against the former Trojan.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Well, I truly believe that, and your teammates have echoed it. I saw it from Cam Bynum where he talked about how he was in tears when you got drafted. It seems as though people have seen you persevere and you've got an army of supporters behind you, man.
I love those guys. Can't say enough good things about them. Yeah. I love everybody on all my teammates.
Cool. And before we let you go, the impact that Justin Wilcox has had on you
Yeah.
over the last 2 years has been what?
Wilcox is the man. We do our meeting before the meeting and just talk about anything from riddles to politics. Like I don't know. He's the man. Obviously, him and his staff changed my life dramatically. When they came in, I was a walk on that. I played a little bit of special teams, but really had I didn't really have a name for myself, and they gave me an opportunity, and I just kind of ran with it. So thankful for that. Thankful for every opportunity and everything he's taught me.
And finally, to the Bear faithful, what would you like to say to them as now you truly make the transition to the next phase of your football life?
Well, I just want to thank them for all their support the last 5 years. And yeah, go Bears.
Go Bears, indeed. Well, congratulations on behalf of all of us at the Pac-12 Networks. We've been so lucky to be able to a little bit be on the inside of your journey, and now wish you the very best and hopefully stay connected as you continue your journey, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for everything.